What if I told you that you could make your first $10,000 online by the end of this year using the power of AI? And no, before you roll your eyes, you don't need to be some kind of coding genius or spend months learning hundreds of complicated tools to make that happen. Just a couple of years ago, building an online business looked very different. Back in 2022, if you wanted to start something from scratch, you usually had to hire a small army of experts just to get off the ground. You needed a designer for your graphics, a writer for your copy, and a marketer to actually move the needle. Before you even made your first dollar, you'd easily sink hundreds, if not thousands, into the setup. But today, the gatekeepers are gone. Thanks to the explosion of the AI industry and tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude, most of those high-cost tasks can now be done automatically for less than $50 a month. This means that right now, almost anyone can start a one-person business with the potential to generate over $10,000 a month. I know this because I've lived it. When ChatGPT first dropped, I was a total beginner, with no audience and honestly, no clue what I was doing. But by leveraging these tools the right way, I hit my first $5,000 online. Since then, I've been able to scale that business while actually working less than I used to. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the 5-step process to building your own AI-powered business from scratch. But before we dive into the steps, we have to address the elephant in the room, the way you think about money. When people hear the number $10,000 per month, it sounds like this massive, unreachable mountain, especially if you're doing it all by yourself. But when you actually break the math down, it becomes a lot more grounded. $10,000 a month is roughly $333 a day. Now think about that in terms of sales. If you sell a product for $50, you only need about 7 sales a day to hit your goal. If your product is $100, you only need 3. When you look at it that way, the math isn't the hard part. The real challenge is having something valuable to sell and getting the right people to see it. This is exactly where AI becomes your superpower. So, what should you actually sell? The answer always comes back to one fundamental truth: solving a problem. The bigger the problem you solve, and the more people you can reach, the more money you're going to make. To understand this, look at the difference between a personal trainer and someone who builds a fitness app. A trainer can only work with maybe 10 or 15 people a day before they're completely burned out. They're trading their time for money. But the app creator builds a system that helps millions of people track their health simultaneously. The trainer gets paid per session, but the app creator gets paid every time someone clicks subscribe. Your goal is to stop being the trainer and start being the system builder. The good news is that you don't need to be a world-class expert to do this. Everyone has a skill or a piece of knowledge that others are struggling to learn. Maybe you're great at specific software, or you speak a second language, or you've mastered the art of staying productive while working a 9-to-5. Things that feel normal to you are often exactly what someone else is willing to pay to learn. If you're feeling stuck, just hop into ChatGPT and ask it to list everyday problems people face that could be solved with a content business. Once you have your list, pick the one that resonates most and move to the next phase. Now, if you spend 5 minutes on YouTube, you'll notice something pretty quickly. The internet is crowded. There are already thousands of people talking about fitness, money, and productivity. So, how do you stand out? You need a unique selling proposition, or a USP. This is the specific reason why someone chooses your solution over everyone else's. For example, imagine a creator who struggled to sell digital products because everything they found online was too technical or geared toward college kids. Their USP became creating a guide specifically for busy 9-to-5 workers who only have 1 hour a day to build an income. Because they lived that stress, they understood the audience better than any guru could. You can do the same. Use AI to help you brainstorm 10 different angles for your niche until you find the one that feels uniquely yours. Once you have your angle, it's time to decide what to sell. You could do an ebook, a course, or even high-level coaching. But if that feels overwhelming, start with a minimum viable product, MVP. This is a small, simple version of your idea that you launch quickly just to see if people actually want it. For instance, I recently wrote a few short ebooks to test the waters, and a couple of them started selling immediately. That was my green light to invest more time into those topics. You don't need a masterpiece. You just need a solution. To make that product truly valuable, you need to hit 4 specific notes. First, the outcome. What is the dream result? Second, the proof. Why should they believe you? Third, the time. How fast can they get results? And fourth, the effort. How easy is it? When a product offers a high desired result with social proof, works quickly, and requires minimal sacrifice, it becomes an easy yes for your customers. People buy when they feel like you've cleared the path for them. The final piece of the puzzle is getting the right eyes on your offer. Traffic is the lifeblood of your business, but it has to be the right traffic. If you're selling a cookbook, you shouldn't be posting viral dance videos. You should be sharing quick recipe tips and kitchen hacks. And for those of you who are camera shy, remember that you don't even have to show your face. You can write helpful blog posts, create aesthetic Pinterest pins, or make faceless YouTube shorts that provide value and link back to your product. When people consume your content and see that you actually know what you're talking about, trust is built. And once that trust is there, the transition to a sale is natural. That is the entire process. Find a problem, create a unique angle, launch a simple product, and use content to find your audience. You don't need a huge team or a massive budget. With AI as your assistant and a clear strategy in place, the $10,000 a month goal isn't just a dream, it's a math problem. So, the only question left is, are you actually going to start?